We are the nerds. We are the nerds of the apocalypse.
So first, we just wanted to introduce ourselves. We are sister writing team. Our pen name is A.O. Marchant, and our first novel is about to come out. So our goal today for this panel is to talk about how legends affect fantasy worlds. So the idea behind this is we want this to be more like a discussion. So we're going to introduce ourselves, kind of talk about what we've done, but we would love it to have more of an interactive discussion, and we have surprises for you guys. So, as far as who we are, Soul Search is our first novel, and it's literally been 10 years in the making for us to get to where we are, and 2 versions of the book. So, by our second novel, we it was hard for us to get to where we are now, in that we had a bunch of talking heads but no plot. So once we got down to the plot, we started incorporating local urban legends and to get to the plot, and it finally got to where we were comfortable sending it out to agents and publishers to get to where we are. So as far as our plot, our main character is Reagan Harbin. She is young adult, and sorry. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. Okay. So our main character is Reagan Harbin, young adult, set in Greenville, South Carolina, or more specifically, Travelers Rest, South Carolina. And she is, our book is very fantasy in that we have 13 planes of existence. And most of it is going to be set into what we would know as Earth right now. But eventually we're going to be getting to more of a science fiction fantasy style. But as it is right now, it's going to be set in Travelers Rest, South Carolina. And
this particular book
this
mostly in Travelers Rest, South Carolina.
And she is going to be one of the few people that have the ability to open gates, in that she can open gates to the different planes of existence, but she can also walk in different people's dreams. And it's when she became into her power is when she stumbles across a crime where she sees someone actually killing an innocent. And at that point, the whole book is going to be about her having to solve the crime, because she's the only witness, and coming into her powers, and surviving a teenage life. So there's a lot of different plots going on in that. So the whole idea of this panel is to talk about the urban legends and how we incorporated it. So what we're going to do, to begin with for us, we're going to do 2 short readings of how we incorporated the urban legends, but then after that we just want to open it up to you guys and talk about your favorite books or movies or comics or whatever, and how those legends have come into what you guys enjoy. So the first urban legend for us that we use is a bridge. A bridge is very common in a bunch of legends all around the state. Well, this particular bridge is going to be very pivotal in all of our books. And this particular bridge is the oldest one in the upstate of South Carolina. Cobblestone, it's very, very creepy if you go visit it day or night. It's just awesome. But I'm going to do a quickly. You want to read?
The ground was incredibly soft. I reached down to touch the grass and it was damp. The area looked familiar, but I couldn't remember how I got here in these woods or where exactly I was. I looked down and could see that I had the same clothes as I was wearing for my first day of school, but I'm not wearing any shoes. The ground was almost like walking on cotton, it was so soft. Hello, I shouted, and as if there was anybody near me. I heard nothing but a quiet trickle of what sounded like a slow-moving creek nearby. The sound of the water was getting close now, and I see what looks like an old bridge up ahead. I can't tell for sure since it's pretty dark, but there does look to be some kind of light on what might be the top of the bridge. As I move closer, a car comes down the road and its headlights illuminate the bridge. As I walk closer to the bridge, I notice that the source of light is from a small candle shoved into a space on the bridge wall, caused by some crumbled stone. On the other side of the bridge is a girl who looks like she's about 12 years old. Excited to have some company and genuinely worried for her, I run the relatively short distance between us.
So that particular bridge, as I said, is very pivotal to our story. But if you are from the upstate, you would know, and we don't want to name the bridge because it is a state park, but you would know where it is and how important it is to our culture in the upstate. The second reading, I think every town has one of these. It is a graveyard, and the legend in the graveyard is that every time lightning strikes, if it strikes at midnight, the large tombstone disappears. So that's part of our story, and another part of where she's dreamwalking. So,
Well, I'll say that when this bridge is special to us, it's actually located directly behind the elementary school we both went to.
oh yeah.
Literally directly behind the elementary school.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
I am walking around a small cemetery. It's storming pretty hard, and the girls with me are complaining about getting wet. I remind them that the legend said that the only time the large obelisk-shaped tombstone disappears is in a thunderstorm and people shut it. If they didn't like it, I thought they could take their cowardly, prissy butts back to the car. I didn't really believe anything would happen. We sat there watching that strange tombstone and jumped when the lightning flashes quickly, Fritz told them earlier. Holy crap, it's true. It really did disappear. I can feel my heart pounding. Is this really happening? We all look at each other in shock and jump again when the lightning flashes again. Reluctantly, we turn to look toward where the tombstone was supposed to be. In its place was a figure covered from head to toe in a cloak. I couldn't see any features. Okay, that's too weird for me. I'm done. I think I've proved myself enough. I tell my sisters it's time to go. They agree with me. We quickly stand and run to the car.
Alright, so that's how we incorporated legends, and there's a lot of different ones in our novel. So from here, we would like to open it up and have a discussion about your favorite legends locally, nationally, and how it's used in different movies or comic books or stories, novels. So do you guys have any questions for us? Are you guys ready to start discussing? I can get it started. I'll start with, okay, this is, and I'm going to age myself here, but this is one of my favorite horror movies, and it's Candyman. You guys remember that one? So you have extra credit if you know what actual story it came from. No.
And I know the story behind the Candyman.
It is. Yay! Come here, Trex. Good bag. So the movie itself was based off of a short story by Clive Barker called The Forbidden, but the actual idea behind it was Bloody Mary, and that's kind of how it all came about. You want to give it to her? I get a prize. You get a prize. You get a prize. Yay!
It's not much, but there you go.
So this one's a little bit trickier, and when I was going through the different legends, I kind of came up with my idea of what this one reminded me of. But there is a legend called The Babysitter and the Man. Does anyone, or The Babysitter and the Man Upstairs, does anyone know that one? Alright, so the idea behind that one is the babysitter gets phone calls, and each phone call gets more and more personal to the point of, I know what you're wearing, I know what you're watching on TV, I know what you're drinking. So the babysitter ends up calling the cops. And the cops end up doing a search on it and say, hey, that phone came from, or that call came from inside the house. So I came to it, for me, that sounds so much like the first Scream. It's not scary. It's kind of scary for me. I'm a big baby. So does any of you guys have any ideas or legends?
It doesn't have to be around hitchhiker.
Yeah, anywhere.
Anyway.
And if you guys come up with a legend and we end up using it in some of our books, we do plan on giving you a free signed copy in the book that it was featured in. So, so we definitely welcome discussions.
Have you done the hitchhiker?
We haven't.
Pick up the person and then find out that you actually were writing a dead person.
That one's kind of scary.
Enough to work in our books.
It would work very well.
About the stretch of highway up in Tennessee, very similar to what she said, where people will go by to pick up a hitchhiker. She'll be dressed in an evening gown, she'll say her car wrecked. The car wrecked, and they'll take her. She says she needs to move to us, she needs to go somewhere to use the phone. But because you won't have reception on your cell phone, you'll take her to what she says is the closest payphone. And then about a mile from when you get there, you talk to her, and she's talking in terms of like the 1950s. When the accident happened, the whole way until you get about a mile to where she says she needs to go, which is an old closed down gas station, and then she'll just disappear. Like you'll see her in the mirror, and then you look at her in the mirror again, and she'll disappear. Stuff like that.
And there's another version where you give her your jacket because she's in an evening gown.
Right.
And then when you come back to the car, the jacket's folded neatly in the passenger seat.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I don't know what that's about, but I've heard that version many times.
That one's
What
scary.
about the local Columbia version of Crybaby Bridge? Anybody ever heard of that? Yeah, Crybaby Bridge.
She's riding on a bicycle with a baby. I can't remember if she fell off or something. But like, she's driving on the bridge. And the baby powder on the window. And get those baby pants and baby powder.
That's
Is that where you
awesome.
put the baby powder on? The baby powder on the back of the car?
I'm not crazy enough to try it.
Me either. There's we were going to talk about variations of that one. In that with the baby powder. Have you seen Paranormal Activity? I don't know if you've seen that, but when they were trying to figure out whether it was ghost or demon or whatever, they put the baby powder on the floor and you would see footsteps. And one of my favorite authors is Kim Harrison. And same kind of concept, but they were trying to track it down and they put like baby powder everywhere following the footsteps. So it must be a very popular idea.
There's another variation of that. There's the one in Anderson, I think where it said somehow the mom lost the baby over the bridge and lost it into the water, and if you walk across it, for some reason you have to walk across this bridge. You hear the baby cry, and if you're really lucky, you can see the mom going across the bridge looking for her baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one's
I don't know
scary.
if you want to call yourself lucky enough to see the ghost of the mother, but
I don't know. Speaking of lucky, do you guys know the Gray Man in Charleston? The same kind of deal. They say if you come across that and you see the Gray Man, it's supposed to be before a hurricane comes. If you see him, you're supposed to survive. But if you don't see him, then I guess you would be lucky to see the Gray Man. Do you guys have any other ones? What you got?
There's an Okichi legend that the bottom trees are supposed to capture spirits and bad spirits. And that if you have them in front of your home, they're supposed to keep the bad spirits away, but the good spirits are supposed to come around and help them.
Where is that?
Where we live, and where our family lives. And I'm sorry, we have family everywhere.
We do. Awesome. Another one. This one's maybe kind of tricky because it's not very obvious. But do you guys know the one called the hook? Yeah. So the idea behind it is a boy and girl go out to the woods and are in their car, and they hear on the radio that there was a bus accident, and it was someone from a mental hospital got out, and there's variations. He either has a hook for a hand or he carries a hook. And when they find that out, and the variation is either they die by the hook in the car, or when they get home, there's a hook found on their front door. So can one of you guys name the movie that came from? Or the movie based off of it? 1999. I'm aging myself again.
Remember what you did last summer?
Good. That was a good one. Okay, this is another one that I found when I was researching. This one's in North Carolina called the Devil's Tramping Ground. In that this area, it's like in a campground. The area, the woods all around this little area is like all dry, and they say that you can go there, you can leave stuff in the ground, and when you come back it won't be there. And they say that the people that actually stay there never come back the same. Like you stay the night, you never come back the same. And so as I'm reading everything, and I don't even know if this is based off of it, but it reminded me so much of the Blair Witch Project. Just like everything, I don't even know if it's based off of it because it's a different part, but one other thing I kept coming across, and then I was just, and I'm throwing this up to you guys, and I'm wondering if this is culturally, but there's always, like every state you've got a monster. So here, and no one's brought it up yet, but the lizard man. I don't know much about it, but you've got the lizard man, Jersey Devil, Chupacabra, Bigfoot, Sasquatch. They're in every state. So, as I said, I don't know if it's culturally that's like our way of accepting things. But can you guys, other than being obvious like the Legend of Chupacabra, but can you guys think of any movies or books or anything that?
Yeah. Slender Man.
That's right. There is a Slender Man.
He's an urban legend from Germany. So if kids run away into the forest, the Slender Man will come. He can hypnotize you. The only way to get out of the trance is to kill yourself, him, or stare at him for the rest of your life.
Sounds very scary.
Just kill him.
What's that?
It's a guy that he's like always smiling, and he goes around everywhere with a knife, killing everybody for no reason. He cut off his own eyelids, and he laughed. Yeah, Slender Man had no eyes. Plus, Jeff the Killer laughs like really creepy. Yeah, it's really creepy.
Well,
You ever hear that laughing?
run. I definitely would
Or
run.
get in the car and start driving us. But he is easy to spot at night because he always wears white or black. Sometimes, mostly black.
Well, I guess it's a trend lately, but there's TV shows that base off their entire series off of it. Like around Charms, Supernatural, like just the entire premise is based off of the urban legends.
They just put one about the star of The Exorcist.
Yeah, very excited about that one. Another one that I came across is The Lost Ship in the Desert, which is in the Mojave Desert. And I don't know if you guys have been out there, but it's just a desert, there's nothing out there, and then there's just a random ship. So they have no idea, so there's a lot of legends and stories behind it, and there are so many different books and movies, and as I was reading, and I was thinking about a cartoon that my kids had me watching one time, and I don't even know the name of it, but it's like little Legos, and then they're ninjas. I don't know the name of it.
Ninjago.
Oh, Ninjago. See, I should know that. But they end up going into the desert and finding a ship and save the day, but just that just reminded me so much of that one. So as far as legends, I've kind of gone through my legends. Do any of you guys have any local legends? What you got?
I'm not sure if it's local, but what about Rick Van Winkle and Sleepy Hollow?
Yeah. Yeah. That one's a good one. They
Actually, those are two separate ones.
Right. Right.
There's always sleeping legends somewhere.
Yeah.
There's been movies, there's even been the TV show Sleepy Hollow based off that.
Oh yeah.
What about the girl who is dared to go into the graveyard and to prove it she has to put the knife in the grave, but she accidentally pins her skirt and thinks something is holding her there, and so she has a heart attack and dies
Oh man.
in the graveyard.
That would be something that would happen to me.
What is it about graveyards?
I know.
It's always haunted houses.
Oh yeah. Everywhere has those.
There's actually one close to where we're from that they probably end up using sometime in the book. It's the witch's house. And
and it was actually a place that was actually investigated by a police officer. Granted, it got burned down, so it's very sad.
But you don't always heard about the creepy cabins and the witches' house.
Have you guys visited any of these places just to check it out?
We go in high school. We go to Airport High School, which is in like the top 50 nationally haunted places.
Oh wow.
So yeah, there's the old principal, the guy that founded it, George I. Pear. He had a heart attack and died in his office, which is on the 500 hall. Like I go to that classroom every day. It used to be his office.
Does it creep you out?
And so now he haunts the hallways and like he'll slam locker doors and like drag his handle on the lock. And it's like I'm in the marching band, so I'm at the school in like weird hours of the night, and we've been there and we've heard doors slam and lockers like the locks move. Like it's freaky. It's really freaky.
Man. What you got?
If the lights start flickering, you can, and if you have anything reflective, you can see your own death. Yeah.
Are you guys local?
We are. We're based out of Greenville, South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, does anyone else have any other legends or stories? What you got?
There's one about blank-eyed children. I think it started in Virginia, where they came to your car doors if you were like parked at somewhere abandoned, and they'd ask you if they could borrow your phone or if you could give them a ride. And someone once left their kid in the car with the doors locked, and the kid came to the window and didn't leave. So the kid, the blank-eyed child, went into the store, found the parent, and gave the keys to the car. And the legend says that if you don't help them, that they will either hurt someone you care about or kill you.
Man, what's that movie? Children of the Corn? The Fletcher? No.
I don't think those are just creepy children, but I don't think they're like that.
Kind of like what you're talking back to that bridge that we based ours off of. There's a lot of legends around that at nighttime. There's all kinds of different stories behind it, but you'll see the shadow of someone that hung themselves, or they say that the Native Americans that built it, their bones are in the water of it. There's all kinds. They say your car won't start if you turn it off at, I don't know, someday.
And it all depends on who you're talking to as to who actually got hanged. It's either a jilted lover hanged himself over the side of the bridge, or some sort of escapee got hanged. It really depends on who you talk to and what time of day it is, I think.
Does anyone else have anything? What you got?
My dad just escaped a wolf among us. Have you heard of that?
I haven't. What's it about?
It's this thing where it's a murder mystery, and it's about this neighborhood in New York sort of where all these supernatural legends like Red Riding Hood and so on and so forth have all been living.
Oh wow.
And you have to basically solve the mystery of who's conducting the first murders in this place, and who knows how long.
Oh, it's like a game, like a role-playing game?
Yeah, it's a role-playing game where you play the sheriff.
Oh.
And the sheriff is sort of based on the big bad wolf, I think.
Yeah. That sounds interesting.
So it's when I was having this described to me by my dad when he was looking at the schedule, this whole concept reminds me a lot of the game.
Yeah. It's interesting. And you had brought this up earlier, but I wonder if, is it the Grimm brothers? I guess the people that did a lot of those stories, I wonder if those are collections of urban legends that they grew up with. And that's, I can't remember the name of the forest that they were from, but there's all kinds of legends and stuff that still to this day come out of it. I wish I could remember the name of that. The Black Forest, does that sound right? Does anyone else
Of course,
have
the
anything?
original versions of those fairy tales are really, really grim.
Yes, they are. Very scary. Have you guys read some of the original ones? It's totally not Disney.
I hear that a few of the Brothers Grimm actually Disneyfied a few of them with the ones with their versions.
Oh, yes. I just got done reading a young adult book about, I think it's called Enchanted. I can't remember, but anyways, she had to come into, she was like a long lost relative of one of the Grimm brothers, but she had to live through all the stories. So like every book is like going to be a different story, and she has to change it, otherwise she won't survive. It was really good. What you got?
This happened to me in real life, actually. I saw a girl who had oil all over her, and she just kept on saying, "Help me, help me." And it just happened like when I was 8. I just forgot about it.
Does anyone else have any other stories? Legends?
We moved back out here for a couple of years. My family and I all lived out in New Mexico, and the area of New Mexico we lived was the stomping grounds of Billy the Kid. And we always hear things about how he still haunts that whole area.
Got it? What you got?
I did hear a story about my camp before. It was about Daisy, I guess. Purple Daisy. And like a girl like was dreaming of a purple daisy in someone's head. Daisy. And now everyone got mad. And then she was very upset.
Well, we are close to wrapping up. Our time is close to being finished now. So what we are hoping you got out of this is how important your stories are to your roots, and not to write off the stories that you had growing up, because just reading the different stories and watching movies and things like that is how believable is it for the fact that you grew up with these different stories, and how they came to the root of the fantasy world. So next time you do immerse yourself in a new world, stop and think about where that story came from and where it all came from, because we all know that somebody's aunt's grandmother's sister saw it and it really happened. So that's all we have, unless you guys have any other stories, legends. What you got?
There was one, it was in Pennsylvania. One of my friends, his uncle, and a few of his friends, it was way back when, they witnessed a alien UFO crash in the woods in Pennsylvania, and that alien was the basis for a lot of alien designs in video games.
Oh wow. I guess that does come a lot with the aliens. She used to live really close to
I lived in Carlsbad, New Mexico, and it's about an hour down the road from Roswell. And they play up the aliens in Roswell.
But yeah, we do have a Facebook page, so you guys are more than welcome to friend us and add any stories you want to, and that way it'd be easier for us to get in touch with you. Just keep it like PG-13. The other thing that you're more than welcome to do is we love sarcastic comments, because it does apply to our book. So if you guys think of anything, you add it on. And as I said, if we do end up using whatever you do put in there, we'll send you a free signed copy of whatever book it was featured in.
Let's see, our character here, Reagan Harmon, has a never-ending supply of snarky t-shirts.
Yeah, that's her thing is the snarky t-shirts. And we're thinking, we don't have a set release date, but it should be in October, November sometime. But you're more than welcome to look it up. So we have a website, almarchant.com, or you can friend us on Facebook, same way. Just put in A.L. Marchant. So that's what we got. But thank you guys for coming out. So, thank you guys.